Lattice is a semantic media workspace built on MongoDB Atlas for storing, searching, and operating on media with AI agents. On Google Cloud, Gemini processes media at the frame and scene level through Vertex AI, while the Google Agent Development Kit coordinates the agents, deploying to Cloud Run via Cloud Build. The backend runs entirely on MongoDB Atlas. Atlas Search and Vector Search power keyword and semantic retrieval using Voyage embeddings, while the MongoDB Nodal Context Protocol gives the root agent direct database tools to run aggregation queries across the full workspace state. When you log in and drop a file into Lattice, the browser uploads it directly to Google Cloud Storage through a resumable upload session, while MongoDB tracks the upload state, queues the processing job, and stores the asset metadata. Gemini then works through the media frame by frame, extracting captions, labels, objects, transcripts, and scene context, all written back into MongoDB as indexed records that Atlas Search and Atlas Vector Search can query instantly. So when you search for pink top, Atlas Vector Search runs a semantic query across every embedded frame in the archive and surfaces exactly the frames containing a woman in a pink top. The same works for natural language queries like running in field, with Atlas Search handling autocomplete and keyword retrieval, and Atlas Vector Search handling meaning, so you can search across any asset in the archive the way you would describe it out loud. You can tell the root agent to find every video matching a description like running and move them into a new folder. It runs that as an Atlas Vector Search query across the embedded archive, then uses MongoDB MCP tools to execute the mutations and write every file event and agent action into MongoDB. Ask it to undo, and it reads the audit trail and reverses every action. Open any asset in the playground, and the agent carries persistent context through MongoDB Atlas agent memory. Records get written to Atlas and injected into the Google ADK session at startup as project context. Add, edit, or delete them from the workspace, and the agent picks up the changes next session. The Playground agent runs on Gemini through Google ADK with the full indexed context of that asset, frames, scenes, and transcript chunks indexed in MongoDB with 1024-dimension Voyage embeddings. Ask it to find someone doing Pilates, and it runs Atlas Vector Search across those records and fires a UI action that selects the exact timestamp in the player. Whiteboards are Lattice's spatial layer for working across your media. A connected node graph persisted entirely in MongoDB Atlas. The Canvas agent runs on Gemini. Ask it to find videos involving running and Pilates, and it runs Atlas Vector Search across the embedded asset records, validates each asset ID in MongoDB, and returns UI actions that place them onto the board as connected nodes, giving the agent automatic context over everything on the board. Ask it to add a note to each asset, and it writes the note content directly into the MongoDB whiteboard document and renders it onto the canvas in real time. Importing a spoken word audio file places it as a node. Then the agent reasons over the connected asset metadata to find the most semantically relevant video on the board and draws an agent edge between them, stored in MongoDB and visible in the canvas. The console is Lattice's MongoDB state cockpit. It runs aggregation pipelines and document counts across every collection in the workspace, giving you a live view of processing health, embedding coverage, indexed record counts across frames, scenes, and transcript chunks, and a repair action for anything that failed. That is Lattice. MongoDB Atlas as the operational backbone, and Google Cloud as the reasoning and media layer, giving you a workspace where your archive is searchable, understandable, and something you can actually operate.